welcome to Book Talks with Sandy. I am Sandy Sanders. I am your host and creator of the Book Talks with Sandy platform that we have brought to you by Coffee Conversations with Sandy. Thank you all for tuning in. We are still part of our quarterly book tour, which is called the I Have a Story Book Tour, where we have authors of various genres that will come on and share their incredible stories. And so today, as we continue providing you all with some amazing books and authors, we have a familiar face on our platform that has come on before. And I tell you, she just kind of really just took me to another level in thought of her information that she has. And we're talking about the phenomenal Dr. Bridget C. Williams, who is the visionary author of the book called Courage and Cannabis. This is volume 2. And without further ado, I am not only going to be bringing her on, I do see her in the green room, but the contributing authors that are joining us today. So listen, guys, go ahead and join and share it out while we bring these phenomenal authors on to be a part of the Book Talks with Sandy Today show. Hi, Dr. Bridget. How you doing? You got some people with you.
Fantastic. I'm so excited. First of all, it's been too long since I've seen you, so it's great to see you.
Thank you so much. We're going to bring you guys a little bit closer. There we go. But listen, yes, and it has, but you've been doing some amazing things. And here we are back now with another volume, and as this one is talking about the amazing stories and the Triumph stories. So I want to tell our audience, we're going to one more time do our intro, and then we're going to circle out, and then we're going to start with our very first author coming on to say hello to us is going to be Christy. So hang tight, and we will be right back with you. I need you all to share this out, tag at least 5 people. I want you to tag them because today you don't want to miss the information about this book. So as, let me see here. Now my computer has gotten stuck here. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Now I can't see you guys, and bear with me here just for a moment. All of a sudden my screen is freezing on me here. Let's see something. Wouldn't you know it? So Christy, if you can, I don't know if the camera is on you. I'm going to go from the other end here. Let me shift over to my screen and see what's happening with my computer. Can you say hello to us?
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Sandy, for having us on.
Thank you. Tell us a little bit about who you are and how you met Dr. Bridget.
My name is Christy Chapman. I live in Washington, the state of Washington. I'm from Oregon and originally from California. Mm-hmm. I met Dr. Bridget because I have been so enamored by what she's doing in this industry. Her first book, I watched her do that. And when she did the second book, I reached out and asked if I could be a part of the amazing project that she's doing.
That is awesome. That is so awesome. And my next person, y'all forgive me, I am having some serious technical difficulties here. Y'all bear with my my team behind the scenes. They're letting me know that there's no visual. Bear with me here.
And Sandy, just so you know, Andrea is backstage if you want me to drop out in a minute, but I just want to make sure you know that she's back there. And
okay. All right. I'm having.
Just let me know. Let me know when you want to switch me out.
Okay. All right. That's not a problem. As I'm sharing with the audience, I want you guys to go ahead and share out. Rick, I do see you here. If you will, come on. Dr. Bridget, are you on the Facebook page of Coffee Conversations with Sandy?
I am not, because I'm on my phone.
You're on your phone. Oh, okay. Rick, if you will, come on and say hello to us.
Hello, my name's
Hey,
Rick Anstis, and I apologize for being in my car, but I'm in the middle of a RSO run for a patient, so that's what we do no matter what. So
that's
we're,
it. I
but
appreciate.
very, very thankful to be on the show and to be a part of all of these great stories and minds. So thank you,
Mhm.
Dr. Bridget.
Absolutely. And how did you connect with her?
we have friends in common, right? Rick is good friends with my cousin, who's also in the book,
Okay.
and I think that's how we met. I don't know, Rick. How did we meet?
Yeah, well, Johnny Curry, I got to know him a couple years back, and through the Facebook, how they like to show you new friends, I noticed this doctor, and I dove into her page, and I was just like enthralled by what she was doing, and then we found out later that Johnny Curry, you know, they're related, and I'm like, oh, okay, so we kind of bumped into each other through the networking of the internet and our community, you know, that health community based minded, same, you know, thought process. You find each other.
Awesome. I'm having difficulty with the visual, so I am unable to tell me if you guys can still see me, because my team is telling me that there is no visual, and so Dr. Bridget, I am so sorry. I'm
So
not quite
Sandy,
sure.
I can. No, this is the world we're in now, so no problem whatsoever. So we can see each other, as far as I'm concerned. Tell me if I'm wrong.
So
You're frozen, but everybody else seems okay. It looks like, right?
Yeah.
that would make
so.
sense.
Yeah. So you're frozen, but we all see each other, and I think we're doing okay on this end. Okay, we can't hear you. At least I can't. Yeah. We can't hear you. Hi, everybody.
Hey, we're left
How's
alone.
it going, Dr. Bridget? Good to see you.
Hello! Wow! Yay! I'm so excited. Wow. Anyhow, let's go. We can always hang out, right?
Is that blue sky above your head?
Yes. After a ridiculous storm, horrible storm.
Now, where are you at?
So I'm in Youngstown, Ohio. I'm a medical director for a medical spa. So today I was traveling around to my different offices, and absolutely horrible storm on my way here. But of course, after a storm, it's always beautiful skies, right? So
always.
Yeah,
that's good to remember. I like that.
Absolutely.
I'm at the grand opening of Green Philosophy Wellness here in Buffalo, New York, and I have
good.
Dr. Bridget's product here, her gummies, as well as her Soak in Luxury, two of the mighty things that they have stocked here, and I'm super excited. I just consumed 4 of her gummies, so
I need some of those.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, and I don't want to take up the time, but the strawberry flavor on there is amazing.
Honestly, they tasted like watermelon, more so than.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Right. No, it has this like really soft strawberry flavor, which is nice. But anyhow, while I'm gonna text Sandy, but in the meantime, because we are still live, if you want to go around, and Rick, why don't you talk a little bit about your chapter and have everyone share? I'm going to see if I'm able to connect with Sandy and kind of get back on track. But let's talk about.
Oh, there she is.
She is.
Yay!
Yeah, but keep going, keep going. Yeah, I came out, but thank you so much for continuing. There is another person, and no, we don't need to go out.
There we go. Yay!
Yes, thank you. Yay. Thank you. And thank you for, listen, yeah, you're right. We're in that technology world, and it's like all of a sudden. So I apologize. I know y'all kept it going.
Yeah. Well, I
We're
think that's
just
part
glad
of the
that you're
beauty.
here pushing along.
Absolutely. And I think that's part of the beauty and what people, I don't know if you knew this going into it or not, but the whole concept behind Courage in Cannabis is not where you just submit a story and see you later, but we create a group of support and opportunity by bringing people together that can network, that can share in the stories, that can do these, podcasts and learn about one another. And the thing is once you're in the book, you're stuck with me. Like, this is a lifetime relationship, right? And so, so to have the opportunity to have these beautiful people on here, and let me tell you what, it's not as easy as like, let me jot down my ideas.
Yeah.
What people have to go through to write their story, and what they have to revisit in their life and think about, and how can they deliver in a way that's inspirational and helpful to others. It's no small feat. And I think, if anything, we're doing this better than we did even with the first book, because people are really digging in deep, and I think we're going to help so many people with this new book. Yeah.
Just share with our audience, just so that you all know this, and you probably did that already. Just in recapping, your forwarding author, share a little bit about how that connection came.
What, the foreword, you said?
Yes. Your forwarding author, of course. Mr. Adam.
Is the thing. Yeah, so Adam Wilks is the CEO of Tyson 2.0, which is Mike Tyson's cannabis brand. And in the process of looking at what was our next direction, the thing is that if you are in the cannabis space one way or another, everyone has a story. And so we were looking for people that wanted to share their story in a way that they had not had the opportunity previously. And so we're working with my publicist, Olivia, who started kind of looking around and asking, and he was someone where he does incredible work in this space, but his journey to the cannabis space is really unknown. And so he wanted to kind of get from behind the desk and kind of share his personal experience, because some people just kind of show up here, I guess, but usually it's a journey for everybody. And he wanted to be able to kind of personalize his experience, because he's more on the corporate side of cannabis, and he wanted to show a more human side of his experience.
Got it. Well, listen, we're super excited. I'm going to go ahead and thank you, Rick. I know that, and obviously I was frozen, but I did hear you. I want Nikki to come on. Laura, she is definitely being proactive and sharing about your product as well. So come on, introduce yourself and let us know who you are. You see?
Hello, friends.
She is Team Bridget for sure.
Nikki Lawley. I'm from Buffalo, New York, and I met Dr. Bridget through the NECAN conference for the first time, I believe is where we first connected. Yet I had been following her because I had read about one of the first stories, Candy Flores, actually. I read her story and it really resonated with me. And so I said, wow, I'd love to be part of something like this. And so Dr. Bridget wrote back and said, well, we're going to have a version 2, and I'd love to have you part of it. My story is kind of unique, not really unique, but I was working as a pediatric nurse. So I went from healthcare provider to patient to then advocate. I literally, my life changed in a second after suffering a traumatic brain injury, and I found the plant by accident. And so my chapter in the book is just kind of discussing that journey of going from the healthcare provider to the patient to the advocate.
Wow, that is amazing. Thank you so much. And we want to hear more about your journey. And also now I want to go ahead and introduce, thank you, Michelle, for being so patient. Thank you. Come on and say hello to our audience.
Hello. How is everyone?
We're good.
I'm Michelle. I'm from Northeast Ohio. I became a cannabis activist after I was injured as a truck driver, and I was unable to go back to work, and I was put on a lot of opiates. My body doesn't handle them, and I'm allergic to many of them. And through that journey, I found that there's other reasons to utilize cannabis other than just to feel good on a Friday night, which is how I used to use it. I was always a stoner. But my chapter is called From Stoner to Triumphant Tribunary. And I come to that because I was written off by just about everybody, workman's comp, everybody. They all gave up on me, and I was dying slowly because I believed it.
Mm-hmm.
When I started, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Michelle, you are ready, and we want you to tell your story. We're kind of doing a round robin right now, but thank you so much. In Ohio, I'm loving that oak wood, that wood behind you. Oh my goodness, so beautiful. And we have Andrea. Andrea, come on and say hello to us. How you met Dr. Bridget there. And yeah, just say hi to us and let us know what you do.
I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I originally met Dr. Bridget. I started following her on LinkedIn and Instagram because she was highlighted in a few of my cannabis classes at the University of Cincinnati. And then I saw her post on LinkedIn about looking for authors for the second book, and I applied, and now I'm here.
So you knew of the first book?
Yes.
So what was it about the first book that said, hey, I got to be a part of this?
I liked the variety of people coming together to humanize cannabis and show how it has impacted their lives.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that story was full of individuals dealing in health issues. Some were political. There were various, and Dr. Bridget broke barriers. You broke a barrier by coming onto my show and our audience. And I'm telling you, when is the lady with the cannabis? When is she coming back? When is she coming back? And it also caused collaborations and meeting new people. So I'm always a big fan. I'm a big fan. As you said, and thank you for letting me know that earlier. Once we connect with you and cannabis, we are all in. We family at that point.
Yeah, well, it's life. It's life. So yeah,
it's a life journey.
Unpack and get settled in because we're in for the long haul on this one.
All right, so, I got you. Yeah, I got you for
absolutely.
Sure. Y'all definitely know you need to come to Mississippi. You know, to bring all of this. You know what's been
absolutely.
Happening.
Yeah, we're trying to make some plans to get down there, so I will keep you posted.
Yeah,
to seeing if we can kind of get some of the authors together and come down there.
That would be amazing. You have Natasha Andrews, Esquire, attorney. Yes, come on and say hello to us, if you will, my lady. Let's see. I think I need to unmute you. There you go.
Hi, is that better? Hi.
Yes.
Thank you for having me today. I just said hi to everyone.
Good, good. So are you new to, I don't think, were you part of Project One? It was so many of authors.
I was not.
Okay, so I'm going to ask the same question to you. What is it about you say, yes, I need to be a part of this?
Just the opportunity to share the story. I find it so empowering and so forward thinking to have people come together and tell their stories, because everyone does have a why. Everyone has something that connects them either to the flower or makes them have an aversion to it. And those stories are important. It's important to reflect yourself so that others who have a similar story can identify with and perhaps find their courage within this space. Yeah.
Absolutely. That is good. Christy, do you still, I did have a chance? Did you have a chance to introduce yourself? Because we're going to go back up and want Rick to come on and share a little bit about who he is.
Yes, I did get to introduce myself.
Okay, great. Great. Rick, if you will, I know you were saying that you're at an event. Come on and share a little bit about who you are, how you connected with Dr. Bridget.
Well, we connected via mutual friend, and I do quite a few things in the event space here in Michigan, and invited her over to speak and to be a part of everything I've been doing on the west side with all of our people. Her being in Ohio and kind of focused and known around Detroit, it's always good to get broader, right? And spreading that message, across the state. And Michigan's really needed that because we have a very unique law here. It's a petition-driven law that not a lot of states allow, initiatives like that from the citizenship. And we had such a unique ending to it all. We wound up with 2 laws that we passed in 2016 and 2018. So I think her being here in Michigan, coming, because you're originally from Detroit, correct? Yeah. So, which is awesome. So I think spreading that message of everybody's story around Michigan, around the world now with a book is very important. So
it is important, and thank you for standing in the gap and bringing a voice to it. Who is Dr. Bridget, MD, cannabis educator, best-selling author? I want to share my screen with you. She is very humble in what she does, but this woman that I have come to know, when I heard of her tenacity, and just so that our audience that may be meeting you all and Dr. Bridget for the first time, she is a medical doctor. She's an author, a cannabis educator, speaker, life coach. And her quote is, "Let me help you reclaim your wellness." And this is that beautiful lady right there. I just want to share my screen there. But when I met Dr. Bridget, and to be honest and listen at everything, to see another Black female physician go at it as hard as she went at it, so many that we know, have suffered in physical, mental health and physical health. And Dr. Bridget, I honor her for her tenacity to go against the grain and shut the mouth of the naysayers, because then there's the church community, there's the Bible Belt and the scriptures and all of that. And so she has brought knowledge to the Christian community as well as the non-Christian, but just the world. I want to applaud you. I really sincerely, I've watched some things that you've been doing behind the scenes, and we applaud you. We thank you for putting a voice to it. We are being watched all the way in the UK. Yes, Yinka Kalani, she is a global speaker and author as well. And so she just wants to say hello to everyone. Lady Kim Jacobs, also known as the Wellness Doctor. Yes, something to that nature, Kim. I want to make sure I get it right, in Charlotte, North Carolina. And so she's a podcaster, television host. And so, yeah, she is watching us today. So I want to start with Michelle. I am going to start with you and let you pick up where you were, how this is going to go. We're going to do somewhat of a round robin. And Dr. Bridget, anything you want to add to what I was saying before we bring Michelle on?
No, I mean, at the end of the day, I want to say we did amazing with the first book. I was going through some of the stories last night, and what I realized more than ever, that yes, this book is about cannabis and how it helps people and it's inspiring, but what I realized, it's about everybody's story. Like, these people are sharing so much that is, it doesn't, whether you're for cannabis, against cannabis, you will learn just from their stories and the
Yeah.
courage that they had in overcoming every single aspect that they share. And so I hope people can pick it up. You know, we're getting there as far as getting it ready for publication. But I appreciate you, and I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So come on, Michelle. Come on and tell us that pick up where you were, as you were saying, is that you were experiencing some health issues on a opioid. And so come on and tell us that you made this choice and about your story.
Well, I have many autoimmune issues. I deal with pain a lot, and I deal with the fear of pain a lot. And when I would tell clinicians that cannabis worked better for my pain coverage than anything that they had, most of them thought I was just wanting to be a druggie. But when I continually had issues taking opioids, it became my only option. And now I am the master of my own health, in that they listen to me, and I have come through this journey from someone who was basically written off as never being able to be productive in society to someone who now has hopes and dreams. And I tell my story. And the biggest part of my story is to not be afraid to tell the truth. You have to be your own physician. You have to make them listen. And it's frightening. I'm labeled as a drug user. I was denied a surgery for 4 months because, I quote, they don't do elective surgery on drug addicts. The only medicine I've ever been addicted to was Lyrica. That stuff's bad when your roommate takes it. It's terrible. And so I thank God we'll never know that again, because if somebody steals my cannabis, I'm not going to be miserable and suffer something almost as bad as death. You know, it's the safer alternative. And I eat it, I rub it on. I just do that every day, and I keep telling my story, and I tell my friends, and I have been able to go to music festivals, and I can walk now, and I can even dance a little bit, and people call me Mother Cannabis, and I tell my story everywhere. You can go from a regular old stoner to an oil shiner.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That is awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. We're going to hear back from you a little bit later. I'm going to go in this round robin. Nikki, I want you to come on because I know you want to get back to your event. I'm going to go ahead and bring you on, let you share your contribution to the book. Yeah, let's start there.
Okay, great. Hi again. I'm really blessed that I found the plant. The drugs that I was on, very similar to Michelle's story, almost killed me. And I had such an incredible, journey where I too was called a drug seeker. I too was called a addict, basically, that no one believed my symptoms were real. I suffered a traumatic brain injury because a child became combative for a vaccine, and I was hit in the head and bounced into a wall and back into his head. My life changed forever in just a second. And so one of my sayings is cannabis connects my dots. How does it connect my dots? It just makes my life worth living. And that's what I talk about in the book, trying to normalize the conversation and trying to be a true advocate.
Thank you. I want to bring your website up here and how people can reach out to you. So tell me, what do you have there on the desk that you want to tell us about?
I am at an opening dispensary here in Buffalo called Green Philosophy. And I actually have Dr. Bridget's products that I just purchased here. I have Delta 9 THC gummies. They're really a great consistency, which
Okay.
a lot of gummies will be too hard or not, easy to palate. And hers taste really good and they work really great. And I
Okay.
also purchased her Soak in Luxury CBD bath powder.
Okay.
And it smells really good, and
Awesome.
just really excited to try that in my bath tonight. So,
I hear you. Okay.
Really grateful to be here, and I appreciate you go first so that I can buzz off and go back to my
Well, when you get ready to say goodbye to your co-authors. I hope to see you again, and we'll be doing another round table with you. Thank you so much, Nikki. Those of you that want to connect with her, a contributing author, it is nikkiandtheplant.org. Again, we are here with the contributing authors of Dr. Bridget Williams and her second edition called Courage in Cannabis, Volume 2, The Triumphant Stories. That is released. This is off of the heels of the #1 bestseller that she had called Courage in Cannabis, the Volume 1. This series is led by award-winning physicians, entrepreneurs, and authors. Dr. Bridget is the visionary author of this series of anthologies. Next, I want to go ahead and bring on. Let me see if I can bring this down here just a little bit. And there we go. Christy, if you will, come on and share your story information with us. And what are we going to be looking forward to hearing from you?
Well, Sandy, my contribution to Courage in Cannabis is really important to me. I come from the healthcare industry where I spent 25 plus years working in critical care and in emergency rooms, burn centers. So the disease process is something that I've really had in my life, and healing people with Western medicine. It was a very interesting life. And once I became sick and I needed medicine, Western medicine did not serve me well. I too ended up on opiates after I have severe back problems, fibromyalgia, and IBS. And what I found was that when the Western culture wanted to treat me, my quality of life was not very good. Once I learned about cannabis and I was able to implement that into my life and in fact get off of opiates and have the best quality of life that I've had while using cannabis. So my contribution is that I really want people to know that disease means that there's a dis-ease in your life. If you are not at ease, you will end up with a disease. So the fact that inflammation is such a problem in our bodies and in the disease process, CBD is the one thing that I personally found that the inflammation factor helped my disease process. My story is that I was able to get off of opiates with topicals. I became a topical maker and an award winner in Oregon, runner-up for my topicals. And then what really solidified my journey was I thought that was it. I thought I got off of opiates. I was a topical maker, an award winner, and that would be my story. Well, in fact, what happened was I ended up with a severe case of IBS where I lost over 100 pounds in less than 9 months. In going to the doctor, they didn't know what to do. I had autoimmune diseases on my chart as a diagnosis. I didn't want to be on antidepressants. I didn't want to be on opiates. And so they just monitored me. When I lost all of that weight, I was, the wind could blow me over. It was the most difficult time I've ever had. And as a respiratory therapist, wondering what CBD would do in a metered dose inhaler was really where my thoughts were. How could that help us to not have to take opiates, but to be able to utilize the inflammation properties that CBD has? So what I was able to do was get the meter dose inhaler with a CBD formulation. And I created Chapman Health and Wellness and the meter dose inhaler with a CBD formulation. What happened was I thought that I would be studying people with asthma and people who would normally use a meter dose inhaler. Excuse me. So in doing the research and bringing this product to market, what I personally found was that, and I almost want to cry, I was sick. I was really, really sick. Going to the mailbox was an outing for me. When I got the meter dose inhaler in my hands, as sick as I was, I started using it to see what would happen to my lungs before I gave it to an asthmatic. And Sandy, what happened was the first month that I used that meter dose inhaler, I gained 50 pounds in 1 month.
Wow.
I was not able to drink water without lying down and embracing the pain that was going to come with drinking water.
Wow.
That was my life. When I started using the meter dose inhaler, it stopped the gastrointestinal spasms. I was able to keep food down. And I've been blessed in my journey that I have had the same healthcare providers for the last 15 years through this journey. Wow. And when I went into my doctor's office and he looked at my chart and saw that I had gained that 50 pounds, all he could say, Sandy, was, "What did you do different?
What did you do?
What did you do different this month?"
Say, girl, what you been doing?
I from day one have been very, very transparent with my doctors, and they now are very well educated. But what I was able to do is pull this out of my purse and say, "Dr. Raggedy, I've been taking CBD by a meter dose inhaler." And so recognizing that CBD and inflammation could change my life that drastically in 30 days. How drastically can we change people's lives if they really desire health and wellness in their life?
Yes.
CBD and THC, all of the whole plant. I'm very much a whole plant person, but there are properties in each molecule that can change lives.
Yeah. And we're going to stop right. We're going to stop. Hold that thought, because now what I want to do, you all that are listening, we're on the book tour. This is our quarterly book tour, and the authors that you see here on our screen is the authors of the upcoming, soon to be released volume 2, which is Courage in Cannabis, with visionary author, #1 bestseller herself, Dr. Bridget C. Williams. Her first volume went #1 bestseller. Authors came on sharing their incredible stories, such as the one you're hearing from the woman that just spoke about the benefits of being able to take the CBD product. And that's where I wanted to show a quick commercial. But Dr. Bridget, I need you to come in with the educational piece, because many people may not realize the importance. So, and I always want to tap in on that. So give me a second. We are being sponsored by the CTR Media Network, which is heard in over 350 million viewing outlets as well, 50 countries and 350 million viewers and listeners. So if you will, our sponsor is that of CTR Media Network.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
Thank you so much. That is our sponsor, CTR Media Network, as well as we are a part of the network. You can hear Coffee Conversations with Sandy on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and we are now found on Roku. We don't have that released yet, but we know that we're there, and we know that we'll be there. Probably it'll be released in about another month. So come on, Dr. Bridget, if you will. Enlighten us and share a little bit more. Because remember, listen, y'all, I'm old school. And I said, okay. So I remember smoking weed whenever I was 18, 19 years old. So this is a little bit different. So yes, come on. Educate me again.
So, well, the one I also want to say about, the in front of you and, the majority of people that come into our book, that they're so passionate about the plant and how it changed their lives that every single last one of these people are educated in their own right. That they all come from a different place, a different catalyst that's there as far as being educators. And, I also go backwards to them when I'm looking at information as well. So that's the beauty of the plant as well. So this education piece, Christy's really sharing a lot of people teach, right? And like you were saying, you remember getting high, many moons ago, right? That is to teach the euphoric component. But little did people know the CBD portion. Not because they hadn't been discussed, but simply because, to be totally honest with you, the overpowering whole community, big pharma, didn't really know about it. Okay, in the 80s, we were very much aware that CBD could calm seizures, and that was blocked. And so, sharing is really the power of CBD, which is one of the active compounds within hemp and cannabis. Is incredible anti-inflammatory. So by inhaling it topically, how to choose to get it into your system, it has the ability to decrease inflammation, and it helps with pain. And Christy's story is an incredible example of that. It can also help with stabilizing or motivating your metabolism. And so, your endocannabinoid system, this is a system that is a part of our body that we didn't even know about until the 1990s, works with the endocannabinoid system to bring. So sometimes when you're hearing that it sometimes increases activities, but then say decreases activities, what the endocannabinoid system does, and what these exogenous cannabinoids have, internal cannabinoids as well. What it does is it will bring back to balance, and really what Christy is sharing as well. Can you guys hear me at all?
Yeah, there is like a background, like an echo kind of coming behind. So, but yeah, we did hear some. Yeah, we had, and I was writing how you were saying that it's useful for anti-inflammatory or pain is stabilizing. I was grabbing that. Okay, but you all believe me, there's much knowledge from this woman, and we're gonna do another round table. And come on, I'm gonna bring Andrea on now. Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
I had never used cannabis before I got diagnosed with PTSD. Okay. I was diagnosed in 2019, and I had a therapist who was willing to listen to me when I said that I didn't want to go on antidepressants and deal with the side effects of them. And she helped me create a holistic treatment plan, including medical marijuana. She helped me get the resources to go to a doctor with the certificate to recommend. She wrote a letter saying that she thought I would be a good candidate for it. And I got my card, started using medical marijuana. It helped me sleep better and helped me with my panic attacks.
Okay.
And it helped me focus better in school, which was really important because I was one of the first students to apply for a cannabis study certificate at the University of Cincinnati.
Okay.
I was one of the first students to complete it. And then I also was able to work in the industry after graduation.
Awesome.
So my story is about how I went from getting diagnosed with PTSD to treating it and being more educated about hemp and marijuana plants, and then actually becoming an industry worker.
So let's go back to you being one of the students. Bring us into that. About being one of the first students, and just as you said, you had never used marijuana, medical marijuana. You had to do the research. You did the research, and you made a conscious decision that you felt that this was going to be the right method of towards your wellness and towards your healing. What was it that you and you did say, you said that you didn't want to go on antidepressants or medicine for depression, so you were suffering, and so how do you feel now that you've been on the not CBD but your medical marijuana? How are you feeling now, as you were saying?
It helps me function on a daily basis.
Okay.
Whether it's me trying to fall asleep without nightmares.
Okay.
Dealing with insomnia.
So you were staying up late at night and not being able to get any sleep, but this has definitely helped you.
Yep.
Awesome.
I haven't had many panic attacks since I started using it.
Okay. So sharing your story is going to be incredible. What would you want your reader to walk away with after reading your chapter?
That it's okay to get help and that there are holistic options for getting help. And that you're not alone if you're suffering from PTSD. It's not something that people who are veterans only suffer from. There are a variety of reasons that you can have PTSD. And there's no shame in saying that you have it and sharing how you cope with it with other people.
Right. That is great. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you on your journey of finding that, having the courage. This book is called Courage and Cannabis and Courage and Cannabis. That's what it is. Courage and Cannabis. And so you're finding courage. You're coming through with a courageous story, and many young people, middle-aged people, and elderly people are going to enjoy your story. I want to go ahead and go with Rick. Thank you so much for your patience. I want you to talk about you being that voice for the community, the changes that are necessary. Mississippi is now a state that recognizes medical marijuana. There are dispensaries now throughout our state. I'm on the coast of Mississippi. I'm in Biloxi. So share with us how important it is to go through those steps that you have gone through to help bring these type of laws into effect.
Well, it's very important to get involved in your local governments and your higher government. So what I started with was municipality work and educating and trying to build events and opportunities for the community to educate themselves. Because that's really important when you're bringing something like this to people. If you give them the option to actually educate themselves, often they'll reach out and take that and use it. And we found that time and time again with cannabis and its breakthrough through prohibition here in Michigan of finally getting that open mind at that higher level to listen. And once you hear it and you hear enough testimonies and you see enough close relatives and people utilizing it in their lives and it saving them or benefiting them, it's hard to say no. It's hard to continue with the no. So getting involved with any of the governments is very important. And if it's in Mississippi, I would say, is that parish? You guys have parishes versus counties? It's not like county division in the state. How does that work?
We are counties. We have 83,
you are counties.
We have 83 counties in the state of Mississippi.
Okay.
Parishes are your Louisiana area.
Okay. So yeah, get involved with those representatives in your area. Mm-hmm. Contact them. That's what they're there for. They're elected to do that. They're elected to hear your voice. And sometimes it takes rapping on that door a bunch of times. Sometimes it takes gathering up your friends and going to the Capitol and knocking directly on their door. And you do that enough, they'll hear it. They have to hear it because that's what their job is for. And if they're not doing their job, then you bring that forward. You put the pressure on, and it helps get that education out there. It helps get those testimony. It helps get these young people like Andrea stepping up and being boastful with her story and telling others to do the same. It's a snowball effect, and Dr. Bridget is pushing this thing down the mountain right now. It's great.
Yeah, and we actually, it was a year ago, January of 2022, that the Mississippi passes the medical marijuana bill. And it went on our Governor Reeves' desk. And then from there, it went, of course, to the Senate. And yes, as of March the 22nd, Mississippi lawmakers last week approved the bill mandating the changes. There's some changes that needed to take place to the state Medical Cannabis Act. And so we're seeing that there is much progress in that. I want someone to so CBD, and we're going to let the attorney come on, and then we'll do this, Dr. Bridget, because you remember you helped me determine, okay, so we have the plant and then we have the CBD products. And so I want a little bit more to help us out a little bit more on that. If you will, Attorney Natasha, come on and say hello to us and your contribution to the book.
Absolutely. Hello again. My name is Natasha Andrews, and I am an attorney. I am from New Jersey, but currently reside in North Carolina. So I know earlier you acknowledged someone from North Carolina, and I just want to say hi to my fellow North Carolinians.
Yes. And so your contribution to the book and you being a part of this volume 2 of Courage in Cannabis.
Sure. I actually, I write about the perspective of someone from the legal community who's kind of watching a new area of law unfold, which is something unheard of. This is a revolution in legal history, and to be here in this time and space and to be a part of the groundwork that goes into the legalization of cannabis, both on a state level and federally, is something that's tremendously exciting and extremely important.
Okay. What, excuse me, I was doing my buttons here. What's making it so exciting? What brings the adrenaline? And you're right, in this history, in this time, what is it about it? And looking forward, I'm probably old enough to be your mom, so help me out.
Well, I mean, these are the things you live for as a law student. You study the law, you see how things unfold, you see how we go from one period in time to another. And to actually be a part of it is what makes it exciting, because the power base lies with the people. It lies with the people that we elect. It lies with us being active participants in how the law unfolds. And as an attorney, we play a critical part in that, because the science is at the foundation of everything. The science tells us what we can and can't do with this plant. It tells us the barriers, and it allows us to go beyond those barriers. But the law is what allows us to go from that knowledge to actually putting things into effect. And so it's critical that attorneys are active in this process so that we can have the types of results that we'd like to see, as opposed to letting people who aren't as knowledgeable about both the law and how it needs to play out making those types of decisions.
Yeah, that's good. Dr. Bridget, thank you for sharing that. And yes, we need to be even educated even more, so that yes, it's putting a voice for those that can't speak for themselves. You've often, we listened to others that were dealing with health issues and then found positive results from using cannabis. And that's where I have this question of helping me to understand. You have the CBD product, and then this, and so Dr. Bridget, help me.
So, with Mississippi being a state, and I'm sure there's a lot of curiosity and interest and a lot of stigma that's pretty much in place, right? And so with it coming into your state and people now having access, there are going to be people that probably could be better on it, but stops them from participating. And it's usually stigma itself, right? And so I want people to kind of understand is that we're more than comfortable, what we're taking or not. We're very familiar with pharmaceutical drugs, tend to be synthetic based. The reason why this is different for people is that we're talking about basically an entire industry revolution of medicine that is completely plant-based.
Yeah.
That makes people a little unsure and nervous because they're not. You can get this plant-based in a pill, but are more familiar with eating it as dried and putting it into whatever form you choose to use, inhaling it and inhaling smoke. A lot of people don't want to do that.
Got it.
Number one, you never have to smoke, ever.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can benefit from hemp, which is hemp, and it's pretty, Sandy, we do not say marijuana, okay?
Right.
So the program might be called marijuana because I think people understand it is heavily laden with risk connotations. So the reason why you'll see that the book is called Courage Cannabis, our authors tend to use the word cannabis is because it is the actual technique for the plant.
Got it.
Okay. And some things are going to be hemp based. There's hemp and there's cannabis under the same umbrella. To be totally honest, the difference is really more related to legal aspects, and that as the plant evolved, that is more CBD and less THC. And so the way it's grown and the way the plant it is used in more industrial aspects, as well as getting the power from the hemp plant and creating CBD, which is one of many cannabinoids, active aspects of the plant, and using it for medicine. When we talk about the other side of this, the cannabis marijuana side, we're talking about a very similar concept, but it's heavier in THC.
Got it.
I can talk more, but but
I was saying, yeah.
I don't know if that's all you wanted to point. Yeah.
It's okay. You good. Yeah. You good. Yeah. I totally was grabbing it. And our audience, listen, I need you guys to make sure you hang out with us. Put it on your calendar. I want you all to come back on Monday night. We're going to be talking with another group of authors, and I I think what I want to do is expand the put you guys on the Zoom, because I can have more than 10. So we're going to put because I want us to really have this open dialogue. I want us to really help people to really understand the importance of using the product and going this method in their healing journey. Christy, thank you for talking about the product that you have produced. Thank you, Rick, for being that voice for the voiceless, helping to make those who are just not sure and want to push it off. What I wrote down is giving them the opportunity to learn and go into the higher levels of government. Thank you. Where people like myself, I've got another calling on my life, but we have individuals such as you that have the courage to go out and be the voice, go in those places. And as you said, presenting it. And I thought that was powerful, what you said. What gave you that courage? Where do you feel like that courage came from?
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to laugh, but I'm going to say cannabis.
Good answer, Rick. Good answer.
It is.
Ain't no pun intended, right?
Yeah. But no, honestly, from my early workings, one of my big ailments is anxiety, social anxiety.
Okay.
I'm kind of quirky around people. I'm always kind of, jokingly playing around because I'm at ease with or always have been at ease, not very at ease with myself. But cannabis allows me to slow down and talk through things. In some of these meetings, you're talking to a mayor or an attorney general or a state representative. It seems daunting, but they're just people. And once you realize they're just people and your message is so important to so many, it just comes out and you tell them, look, this is what it is. You need to know this. And you need to know that your people feel this way. And it gets heard. And that's how, we've had so many people well before me just knocking down the doors of our state to get where we're at. So my hands are, up to them for sure.
Yeah. You and so tell me one of the accomplishments that you feel proud of yourself for accomplishing, because it's not just for you. You didn't go in with your own intent. What I'm seeing is that this was selfless. You were not thinking of yourself, but it's the people. And you said that again. What is the one thing that you can truly, that you feel proud of yourself for that happening?
Maintaining that all the way through, because it starts with the plant and the love and the symbiotic relationship when you grow her and you create her and you give her to somebody and it helps them and it enables their life in a better way. It impacts them. That whole circle is it. And then being able to do that on a higher platform, such as, like I said, reaching to the attorney general level. I was able to create a space where I had the attorney general and Tommy Chong in a Zoom meeting conversing with one another. So, that alone, I think that was probably when I kind of hit me like, oh, wow, somehow I'm doing something. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I just did something there. So
you did something amazing.
Yeah. So, but it meaningful. And I think just staying that course, because it's all about that medicine. It's all about healing these people, healing myself, and those around me, and being a true healer. Caregiver is a phrase that's used, but I think when you're really using cannabis the proper way, you're a healer. You're selfless. You drive and you go and you get the oil and you provide it to whoever needs it. And that's what I'm doing right now. Somebody really needs some oil to fight off a nasty melanoma. And here we are from the community providing it for them. So
that is great.
That's my blessing. Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely. Christy, I know you've been holding up your product that you have patents, you've manufactured it. So explain it to me again. It's an inhaler?
Exactly, Sandy. The CBD inhaler is a good thing to compare it with would be an albuterol inhaler.
Okay.
That an asthmatic would try.
My grandson, yeah.
There you go. So by utilizing CBD in the inhaler, we're actually able to open up the patient's lungs better than albuterol. So it's not just that I'm offering a product that doesn't make somebody get tachycardic, increase their heart rate, and make them shake. Yeah. I'm offering them a product that, in fact, will do better by a measurable volume by testing, and it can be proven that your lung volumes will be better on a CBD inhaler versus an albuterol inhaler.
And you tested your own product?
I did. Well, you have to. You have to. I remember thinking, okay, well, I'm not an asthmatic, but I need to know what it's going to do.
Got it.
I wasn't the first, but I certainly did have to make sure that it was safe.
Absolutely.
Can I interject real quick?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I'm curious because in my path with medicine, I found that CBD alone, ingested wise, can flow through the body relatively fast and be, expelled within the first urine. Now, with an inhaler, would you see or possibly see any longer effects of the CBD on the lungs with a THC factor at all? Or have you looked at that? Just curious.
Oh, absolutely, Rick. And THC inhalers are the future, in my opinion. One of the reasons why I think this modality is so important is that it is not entering your urinary tract. You're not dumping the CBD from the liver. When you are inhaling with a metered dose inhaler, it is going into your lungs and right into the bloodstream versus being peed out, if you will.
Well, I'm going to definitely get with you because my mother suffers of COPD and I need one of your products.
Rick, we need to connect, friend.
Look at y'all. I love it. Collaboration within the collaboration. I'm loving it. You all, we are with the amazing authors. You have been hearing individuals that are part of the soon to be released here in the spring of 2023. Yes, the book is called Courage in Cannabis Volume 2. The Triumphant Stories. As I said, it is also coming on the heels of the #1 bestseller, Courage in Cannabis Volume 1. The visionary author herself, the phenomenal Dr. Bridget C. Williams, who is a trailblazer, a visionary outside of being a visionary of a book, but she sees it, she got it, and did the work for over 20 plus years, physician herself, and saw her patients in pain. And she basically said, let me help you. And we're so glad that she took the courage herself. I do want you all to join me on Monday evening. I'll be back with another group, and then we're going to put a message out. I want my audience to see as many of you all as possible. So we're going to bring you on. And if you all would like to return, those that are on now and your schedule permits, let's say Tuesday evening, Dr. Bridget, if that's okay, I want to open it up. I want to expand it. We'll get them on the Zoom because I can have way more. And I want to get this word out. Okay. Because, yeah, I just want to do that. Absolutely. Andrea, is there anything else you'd like to share? And then Michelle, I want to hear more from you. Anything else before we kind of wrap it up?
I don't have anything else.
Okay. Well, I think your story is going to be amazing or going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to reading it. You served military? Did you serve? Oh, you didn't serve military?
No.
You're saying that you're in the field working now in the cannabis world. What is it that you do?
I am a general manager for a small hemp company called the Eastern Kentucky Hemp Company. I manage their location that's actually near the University of Cincinnati. So I'm really lucky to work in the community that helped educate me and helped bring me to cannabis.
Mm-hmm. 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 That's great. Like you said, it's kind of like full circle, and now you're working in the industry that brought about your healing. I think that's phenomenal. Michelle, was there anything else you'd like for our audience to know about your journey? As you said, you have less pain. You're now in a space to where you are not dealing with all that pain in your body. So come on and share just a little bit more.
I just want to let everyone know that Mother Cannabis, that's my alter ego, says we need cannabis inside, outside, and upside down. You know, keeps you sane, keeps the brain drain from happening. I utilize it in my belly button. I will put it on the base of my spine and also here on my temples, and rub it on the bottom of my feet before I go to bed. And I can add other essential oils as needed. So be brave. Don't give up. Stay true to what you do. And when I'm at music festivals, I'm the mama on scene there, and everyone knows me and my dog Mercenary. They come for questions, they come for help, and everybody knows the day after you take a Canna-Cap to feel better. And that's a cannabis infused coconut oil capsule.
Oh, wow. I love your smile. I love your energy. As you said, Mama Cannabis, and apparently they know that you are the energetic one and you're coming to make them feel good.
That's what
awesome.
I try to do. Everybody should be healthy. Everybody should find joy. Everybody should find a way to be pain-free. It's out there. You just have to find it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Natasha, was there anything else that you'd like to add to the conversation?
Absolutely. I did want to share a little bit more about my journey and founding the National Association of Black Cannabis Lawyers, which is the NABCL. That was a very important part of the journey for me because it's really where my drive and passion for this industry began. At the end of the day, I know that we're all very familiar with the lack of diversity that we're seeing. So while we're celebrating all the wins and we're celebrating the ability of patients to get the type of care that they need, and we're celebrating the end of prohibition, it's really important that we recognize there is a continual responsibility to make sure that the voices that sort of laid the foundation for this and paved the way during the war on drugs are not forgotten in all of this. And as part of that aspect of the journey, I found it really important not only to get people well educated on cannabis, the reason why this is everyone's issue, whether you choose to use or not use. It's also very vital that, as I said earlier, that attorneys are involved in this early phase of the process, and in particular that Black attorneys come out from behind the stigmas that you talked of earlier and sort of place themselves in this space, because the lack of voice or the silence of our voices will always preclude us from being able to see the things that are most important to us come to fruition in cannabis. And so I thank Dr. Bridget for this opportunity to be a part of Courage in Cannabis, this second volume. I absolutely applaud all the people who have had the courage to step up and share their stories and identify with people's who might have a similar story and might be attracted to find out more, might not otherwise know where to turn. And I encourage people to continue to make their voices heard in this space and be a part of the conversation, because you are going to be a part of the greater scope of cannabis as an industry. And so it's important that you make your needs and your desires heard at this early stage.
Again, thank you so much. And I was saying, absolutely, thank you for what you're sharing. Yes, you were holding back on me. Yes. Holding back. I knew there was more in there. Listen, Yinka Kalani, who is out of the UK, Dr. Bridget, I don't know if you recall, Yinka has MS. and she's in the UK. She saw our last interview, bought the book. As she says, she got volume 2.
Yeah.
Looking forward to volume 2. But Yinka is a very big supporter of our platform. She's in the United Kingdom, and she talks about some of the challenges that she had to face. And Yinka, if your schedule permits, I want you to see if you can come on Tuesday night. I want to expand this dialogue. It is all about the book. Dr. Bridget, would that be okay for you?
Absolutely. I connected last year for a little bit. Love to reconnect and actually share her perspective on this can help people, across that as well.
Yeah. Well, listen, you all, this has been an amazing, thank you all, amazing conversation, introductory of, Courage in Cannabis, Volume 2, the Triumph Stories with the lady herself. Yes, Dr. Bridget C. Williams. We just love her. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for sharing. She says, I love to share my perspective, and she's accepting. She says, yeah, she'll come on. So, well, Yinka, I'll make sure you get the link as well, and we'll bring you on Tuesday evening. We want to open up this dialogue even further. Dr. Bridget, you're on Clubhouse as well. Do you have an ongoing Clubhouse room? I want to put that out.
Last year, a Clubhouse now. We're actually going to switching over to StreamYard and doing the whole YouTube and what have you.
Okay.
We're going to get done with our editing, and then we're start doing a cannabis larger cast. And let me say that Courage in Cannabis is a part of the GHHC Foundation. It is a part of our nonprofit. How we're able to do this is by donations and support of not just sponsors, but sponsors as well. So if people would like to contribute, we would love to. And definitely look at our Facebook page, our Instagram page, look about the authors, learn more about our sponsors coming up, so that you can be part of this, not just book 1, 2, but a part of a movement that we're creating.
Absolutely. Well, you all have heard it. Thank you. We got it. We got through this interview. My concern was the technical, but I can take the deep breath, and we got through it. I appreciate you all's patience. Thank you. Again, Dr. Bridget, as always, we'll see you all on Monday. They'll be back with us here on Book Talks with Sandy on Monday evening at 7:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, as well as Tuesday evening. So they're literally on a tour on the Book Talks with Sandy platform. I do want to invite you all that are going to just kind of hang out with me. This is almost the end of the month of Women's History Month, and I will be hosting a group of ladies that will be on with me on tomorrow evening at 5:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, as we have a round the table discussion about some of the positive impacts that women have made in history and in our world. And we just want to have a round table discussion. So join me in Coffee Conversations with Sandy. Sisters, let's have a chat. I am Sandy Sanders. I am your host and creator of the Book Talks with Sandy platform. Join me each and every week as we have authors from all over the world that come and share their incredible stories. And as most of all, I say that it is for you. Why? You just might be looking for a good book to read, and this is one of them. I'll see you guys later. Take care. You know that I love you. Be blessed. Have an amazing evening. All right, y'all, take care. It's great to meet you. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.